"Help, help." This is what the nurse hears coming from down the hallway. Immediately, she runs to the area that she hears the voice calling for help. What she finds when she enters the room is an 80-year-old, lifeless. The staff member states, "I walked in and he wasn't breathing and he would not answer me. A stat is called." The nurse quickly assesses the patient and determines he's not breathing and he has no palpable pulse. So what happens next? Today I would like to talk to you about what happens in the nursing home setting when a resident is found unresponsive and they do not have an advance directive. After the nurse assesses the patient and confirms he or she is a full code, the nurse activates the stat and begins CPR. Other nurses will arrive with a crash cart, place an AED on the patient, and place the ambu bag to artificially deliver oxygen to the patient. She continues CPR. 911 is alerted to call for EMS to arrive. When a call is made to EMS, they usually tell the estimated time of arrival. The nurse continues CPR. According to Life in the Fast Lane, generally CPR stops after 20 minutes if there is no return of spontaneous circulation. In the nursing home setting, CPR continues until EMS arrives and takes over. As EMS arrives, they begin to place their leads on the patient and they continue CPR and they intubate the patient for artificial airway. After 20 minutes, once EMS arrives, if the patient has not come back to a normal rhythm or any shockable rhythm, then the EMS is allowed to call the physician at the nearest emergency room and get approval to stop these efforts. Today I've given you a scenario of typically what happens in the nursing home setting when a patient is found unresponsive without an advance directive. However, I did not go into detail about the actual trauma these frail bodies endure during this time. How many of you have ever heard that CPR is not effective unless you're breaking bones? How much trauma can these frail bodies endure before you're doing more harm than good? According to NCBI, only a small percentage of nursing home patients who sustain cardiac arrest will benefit from CPR. What does benefit mean? Surviving. Only surviving, without considering if the patient will return to normal function. According to The Guardian, only a few will be able to function as normal before cardiac arrest. So what is an advance directive? An advance directive is a legal document for the patient or family to plan what they want in the event they go into cardiac arrest or they're at end of life, their choices. Most of people confuse do not resuscitate by not receiving treatment. There is a big difference between treating an illness and resuscitating a patient who has went into cardiac arrest. According to the family doctor, the DNR is a request not to perform CPR if the heart stops or if breathing stops. My intention is to inform you of what actually happens when an individual is found unresponsive due to cardiopulmonary arrest in the nursing home setting, so that you can decide if your loved one, how you would want them to be treated. With an advance directive, you can decide if you want specific measures done, such as CPR, mechanical ventilation, artificial nutrition. The only way that you can ensure that you or your loved one's wishes are carried out is by having an advance directive. Don't wait until an emergency occurs to make the decision. Make it with your loved one now.